All right guys, we just got off the water doing some cut bait fishing. This is a fantastic way to fish if you're brand new to striper fishing and maybe you've never done it before ever and there's a lake close by, you want to try it. This is a great way to get out there and catch your first striped bass. What's great about this style of fishing is you can catch all kinds of stuff. You can catch catfish and big catfish too. Striped bass, white perch, all kinds of great stuff. So what we did was we went out. It's springtime, it's a great time for cut bait fishing. Fish are moving around, getting ready to go up to the rivers to spawn. And I'm gonna show you on the map real quick where to get started for this. So the fish are moving around a lot. It's a great place to, great time to do your cut bait fishing. Points, great place to start on a point. Okay, where fish will move up on a point during the day and move back down. Anchor up. You can even beach your boat. A lot of times if it's deep water close by, I'll just bank the boat. I'll just put it right up on the clay bank. Sometimes we anchor. In this case, we double anchored. Even a single anchor is fine. Doesn't matter if the boat swings just a little bit. Just a great way to get out there and catch your first striped bass. All right, I'm gonna show you real quick on the map where to get started. You're gonna have 3 spots to try. I'm gonna get and show you right now. Come on down. All right, this is a map of Carr Lake, Bugs Island, but I don't want you to get hung up on what lake this is because this works on any southern lake, probably most northern lakes as well. The reason I say southern lakes is because most of the southern lakes or rivers ever flooded into reservoirs. So again, don't get hung up on the name. This will work in any lake. Okay, so right here you're going to see this is the main river channel, the main stem. We call this the main lake. So on your lake where the river channel is, that's the main lake. Okay, so then you're going to have these creeks. You got one here, you got a big one here, smaller ones. Okay, let's go to this creek right here. Okay, so you're going to start, your first spot is going to be a point on the main lake. You can see that point right at the tip of my finger. Okay, on your map when you get close, you'll see all these fine lines here where the lines are very close together. Like, let's see down here, it might be easier to see. You see where all these lines are, the little fine lines? Where they're close together, that means it's a steep drop off. So you want to anchor your boat in those fine lines, in the drop off, so you can cast out deep and cast up on the point. So this is your first main lake point. Try here, set up for an hour, a little more. You don't get any takers, you move to your second spot. Your second spot will be a secondary point. Any of these points near the front of the creek, but up in the creek. So you can try any one of these little points right here. Again, anchor your boat on the transition. So if it's 30 foot here and it's 2 foot here, anchor between that. That's the transition, okay? Give it an hour, no touches. You're gonna go to your third spot. Third spot's gonna be the point way in the back of the creek. Between those 3 spots, you're gonna find fish. All right, come here, let me show you our rig here. Very simple, it's an old Carolina rig. You have a barrel swivel here. This is our main line. This line goes to our reel, comes off the reel, it's our main line. I like to have at least 2 beads, maybe 3, but as long as you use at least 1 to protect your knot, okay? This is a 2-ounce sinker here. 2 ounce, just an egg sinker that slides. And then we have about 3 foot. You don't want to go longer than 3 foot because then it's very difficult to cast. All right, then I have a small, this is just a 1/0 Mustad Demon Circle hook. Okay, I like the Demon Circle. It's my second favorite hook. If you can get the Owner and Mewdo circles, light wire circles, they're my first and favorite circle hook. This is a good secondary though. All right, very simple. This is just a 15-pound test leader. My main line is 20-pound test on this. You can use lighter than that, you can go heavier than that. Cut bait fishing is very forgiving. Your line is laying on the bottom. You don't need fluorocarbon or anything fancy. Just basic setups are fine for this. All right, my first pick for this would be shad, cut shad, live shad, any shad you can net. I would love to get some nice big herring for this. We had to find our bait deep. We couldn't find anything shallow, unfortunately. Everything was in a deep creek channel, 25 feet right on the bottom. So it's a slow pick netting our bait. If you don't net bait, if you don't know how to net bait, you can go to a bait shop. You can go to your gas station in the south here. They always have those bass minnows. You can get bass minnows, work great, no problem. Even at the grocery store if you want to get chicken livers. Now, when I was a kid, we used chicken livers, and we actually caught a lot of stripers that way. It's kind of funny how they'll really key into the stench of that chicken liver and pick it up. A lot of guys up north still doing it. So my first pick would be shad, net fresh. Second pick would be bass minnows at a gas station. If you can't get those, get some chicken livers at a grocery store. Great way to get out and catch your first striped bass. It's super effective. We caught a ton of fish. We had action all day between the catfish and the striped bass. So check this out. I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Please subscribe if you haven't. Give me a like. All right, it's springtime and we are getting ready to net some bait here. This is Carr Lake in Virginia, North Carolina border. Usually springtime, water 60 degrees, the bait will be moving up shallow. But we haven't seen any bait flipping, and all the bait we're seeing is deep. I'm sure there's some big gizzards getting ready to spawn up in the riprap and stuff, but I'm really not seeing it flip. You can see as soon as we get to that drop off deeper than 20 feet, we start to see it. It's on side scan, there's lots of it, so it shouldn't be hard to get. But it is deep, which presents a whole new challenge throwing a net, you know. You got to make sure you're really on it because your net's going to close by the time it gets down there. So you have to be really precise on your throws. So let's see what we can do. Man, you're nicking the boat, but man, is it opening. You have your shoes on, you have just enough height to not hit the boat. Hard to beat that. There's the cast net. Did he get it? He was on a few. Definitely got a few. Here's a net coming up. Over here, Kyle. Let's see if he's loaded. There we go. That's oh, and we just killed them all.
I scared every crappie out of here with these guys. I pick them all up.
Here, Kyle, it's a threadfin and a gizzard. All right, you can see here. That's all bait and stripers. You can see the stripers here, the hard dashes, and then these small ones here, small haze, that's shad. It's funny because we're trying to net bait and there's a striper sitting on this bait. So we're not going to go far once we start fishing. Net ledge. We're fishing! We're fishing! Another dozen of legs. Put the lead down soft. That's another dozen and a half. We are done. We're done. All right, well, we just got our bait. We're back here in these S-turns here in the back of this creek. Okay. We netted bait right here. And we marked so many striped bass and crappie and all kinds of big marks all the way through here that this point right here, we're going to cut bait right here, right by our bait. I'm just going to idle up here. We're going to tie off to one of these trees, double anchor the boat, and we're going to set them out on the chunk. All right, we're getting ready to set the anchor here for cut bait fishing. And I don't want to be too hasty here. I want to look around and I want to position the boat so I can cast to all depths. It's the middle of the day right now. The fish that we're going to catch earlier on are going to be deep, and as it starts to get dark, you know, later in the day, these fish will move up to medium depths and then closer to the bank, closer to the point. I want to position the boat one time and get it perfect. I can put some baits up on the 4-foot, some in the 10-foot in the transition, and some I can reach the 25 creek channel. Perfect world, that's what I'd want. So if you see the fish finder, we're going in reverse. Okay, there's bait. It's the bait we were just netting. Of course, I'm not seeing the stripers and the catfish now, but they were here, and it's okay. This is one time you don't have to mark fish, as long as you mark bait, because these fish are going to move up later on. If we don't see them up on the point, that's okay, because they're going to move up as it gets darker. It's the middle of the day. Here's the point where we just dropped that first anchor. Putting the stern over on this side of the point. If you look at the drop off, you'll see it coming down in reverse. I know if I get that stern anchor in 10 feet of water, I can cast out to 25, no problem, with a medium cast. All right, set her down. 10 feet of water. Kyle, get ready to pull some in.
Go down.
All right. All right, now Kyle's gonna take some in and John's gonna let some out. This way we get a little scope on our back line. I don't want a lot of scope on the back line because it's a 35-pound anchor. We don't need a lot of scope. It pretty much works just going straight up and down. Go right over the top. Walk all the way down. Coming down, John. Clear that box for him. Keep the rod high. Don't hit those other ones. Keep.
You're good, man.
Run, Kyle. That's it. That's it. He's swimming at us now?
I think you.
Yeah, he's swimming at us. That's right. Keep cranking. Malcolm, come take this. Could be a big catfish. Hold that in the other hand. Just walk all the way to it. Just keep it clear. What you got, Kyle? See your line's in his line? Yeah, walk up to, okay. Take that front rod, Trey. Big catfish. Big catfish. Just leave that one slack. Just leave it slack, yeah.
No.
Nope. Okay, John. Kyle, bring it to John right here. Everyone else go to the other side of the boat. It's all right. Just keep it slack. Grab the line with your left hand, John. It is a big one.
Oh, baby.
Good job, Kyle. Striper!
Hey.
Net, where's my net? John's got a boat. I can't believe I turn around, these guys are all watching and clapping. All right, there you go. He's not monstrous, but we'll take him. There we go. Cut bait. Freshwater striper action. Pretty fish. Good job. Pull the hook out. Pliers. You guys see that?
I'm camera shy.
Too many cameras.
Beautiful fish.
You can do it. There you go.
All right.
Pretty fish. Not monstrous, but this lake doesn't have a whole lot of big fish in here. It's a good fish. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Be free, baby girl. Be free. Right up high. Pull away from the anchor. Away from the anchor. You're pulling towards it now. The other way. There you go. Striper or catfish? Keep cranking, don't stop. Get him to the boat. What you got? You digging? Watch your mouth. Go up to the front. Right at the top.
Where?
This way. There you go. If we baited and waited on this point, we'd go from catfish to stripers. Look at your drag's going out. Pump and take it, Malcolm. Remember, you got to pull up and now crank down to them, but drop the rod a lot slower. Crank, crank, crank down. Bring the rod tip down a little, so that's it. Now pull all the way up. All the way up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That's it. Remember, we got a tree down there. You know, just keep it up high. Keep it up high. Because we have a tree right down there. We're cut bait fishing, guys, on Carr Lake, Bugs Island. Catfish, blue cat. Step back. Go. Get him down. All right. Catfish.
Oh wow, he's barely hooked.
Ugh.